Hi, this is Basil Green speaking, and I'd like to welcome you again to one of the podcast episodes that I usually do during the week. So, I usually start on a Monday, then I go and upload something on a Tuesday, then Wednesday we do something else, on Thursday this is today's slot. It's straight talk with Basil Green live. Friday we are going to be doing something called Youth Up. I did mention it on Sunday that I'm going to be doing something on a Friday as well, from 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock. 1 hour slots each day from Monday to Friday. Have a rest on Saturday, and then on a Sunday I am back in the morning for the spoken word at 10 o'clock, and then in the evening I will continue with It's Basil Green again with the weekly review. So usually on a Thursday I've set aside the slot to interview individuals, if they avail themselves. So I'm still working on getting people to come on board, and then I will continue to provide some content. So give me some feedback. Let me know what is it that you would like to hear concerning the topic of responsible leadership. Remember that I help my target audience and my clients to use responsible leadership, and I do it with communications as a tool, so that the influence can go out there, and the people out there can get the stuff that they've been waiting for. I'm just one person in this big world that we are trying to make a difference in. So today I'm just going to be talking about a particular thought that has been on my mind since 3 weeks ago. So it came back again today. So I kept getting reminded of the gummy bears. You know about the gummy bears? If you are in my age group or a little bit older, you will know about the cartoons. Now, if you're a Christian, I know a particular part of the church does not believe in what is taught in the gummy bears. I was still a kid when I used to watch this cartoon show, and I spent a lot of time, as a kid, enjoying these episodes, not knowing that it was teaching us witchcraft, but I believe we can learn something from it, even if the message, as part of the message, is not applicable to us who are followers of the Lord Jesus Christ. We understand that God does not want us to delve into that source of power, even if it's for good. He doesn't want us, but I believe we can learn something. There is something there for us to walk away from. Now, I kept remembering the gummy bears, and one thing in particular that I realized this morning was that I wanted to find out if they had trolls on there, because on the internet we have a lot of people trolling one another, and it's always found in the comment section of certain social media posts, and then you'll find trolling happening in various forms offline, but I know many of us are used to trolls on social media. So I want you to find out about the trolls. on the gummy bears. That's from the 90s when I was still a young person. I was still a child at that time, and I remember I used to enjoy watching this particular cartoon show. And today I found a video clip of it, and I particularly enjoyed a certain part of it. It actually stayed with me when I watched that short clip, and I think it was about 10 or 11 minutes long. And with the gummy bears, if you are familiar with them, but if you're not, you can always Google it, and you will be able to see what I'm talking about. But let me share the story of the gummy bears to you. Now, there is the gummy bears, then there's the humans who are ruled by a king, and then there are the trolls who give the gummy bears a hard time and the human beings a hard time. So they are a nuisance to both creations, you can say, in that cartoon. So the animals and the human beings have a problem with the trolls, and all three can speak to one another, and all three can understand one another. So because with the people, there is a young boy that actually goes and visits the gummy bears, and it's his secret, although his uncle also had one particular encounter, and even in this episode, his uncle saw a gummy bear, but the young man acted like he did not know what the uncle was talking about. He kept it a secret that he usually visits them. But there was one particular scene within the gummy bears that actually caught my attention. I even shared it on my mailing list, and I'm talking about it today because I just want to take it out of the exclusive part. So that email that I sent today was actually one of the first that I just sent, and I thought, hey, let me just share this one here with my listeners outside of my mailing list. So you are getting something that is exclusive for the people on my mailing list, which you will celebrate, But moving forward, I'm not going to be doing something like that, because if you want to be part of that mailing list, you can go onto my website. You can also download my personal branding course. It's for free, and you don't have to leave your email to get the personal branding course ebook download. So I'm not saying if you don't give me your email address, you're not going to get the freebie, but there are other things that I am going to be sharing with you as time goes by. And remember that the email that I sent today was one of the first of the exclusive emails that I sent to my mailing list. I have been blogging, I have been vlogging, and I have been putting up podcasts as well on my blog, which automatically gets sent to the people on my mailing list as well. So that you probably don't know about it. You can also go on my website and do that. But let me get into the story of the gummy bears. When the gummy bears were playing today, one thing happened. There was this young boy that got trapped. The trolls ended up with the treasure that he was carrying. It was a mini statue, a very small one, a gold one, and it was shining very, very, very well. And the boy got caught, and afterwards there was also his uncle also got caught in the mix, and these trolls had both the uncle and the young boy trapped. Now, when the young boy got trapped, they had him. The trolls ended up with a treasure chest and that gold mini statue that was on the young boy. As all of this stuff was going on, the trolls were tricked The trolls were tricked into fighting. First, the leader was also paranoid for a while that somebody wanted to take his leadership position, and the gummy bears were also there, who were disguised as trolls, wearing these garments covered up. Their heads were covered and their bodies, so the trolls couldn't really recognize that there were gummy bears there and trolls within their ranks. So to cut a long story short, one of the gummy bears ends up influencing the leader to fight with one of his troll followers, because the leader was trying to suss out who wants to take his position. So the leader ended up getting told that one of his trolls, the troll ended up trying to deny that he wanted to take his leader's position, but it was too late because the leader ended up attacking him, ended up fighting with him. All of a sudden, while the gummy bears were slowly sneaking out, all of the trolls ended up piling up on one another, and it became like an internal brawl, and the gummy bears were trying to slip out, so they were tricked into attacking one another as well. So, it made me think, that firstly, amongst crooks, as the old adage says, or the saying goes, there is no honor amongst criminals. Or if I believe it specifically says that there is no honor amongst thieves. But criminals, thieves, it's the same thing. Why? Because I believe trust is very low in that environment. And because trust is low, they suspect one another for backstabbing. No one trusts each other. The one person will think the other person is going to be out to get them, because they do not have the moral code to be loyal to one another. So they'll find specific ways to backstab each other. So there is an honor amongst them. Even if the one tries, in the real world, you find that when the one tries to get out, the others will try to assassinate that person. Why? Because they are afraid that the person's going to reveal certain secrets about them now that this person is no longer busy with their criminal behavior. It was that criminal element that kept that person in that specific place, but they still don't trust each other at the end of the day. I remember hearing a story about a particular leader. I'm not going to say his name today. A particular leader who had intelligence on his followers, and apparently if this person was speaking the truth, he says he found this out from people within this high profile leader in South Africa, who had intelligence on his followers. And the guy says that this leader had intelligence on the people who were supposed to work as intelligence on his other followers. So you'll find that he had people spying on people, and then he had people spying on the people who were spying on the people. So that's the kind of life that this guy lived. Why? Because they probably knew what type of people they were, in their specific organization. So those people didn't trust each other, and I believe it is the same in true life, where you find people who have a moral code that is very, very low. They don't trust each other. They might force one another into loyalty while through using fear tactics, but they do not trust one another. Why? Because the moral code is quite low. They are criminals. So criminals, they, I know there's a lot of jealousy amongst them, and there is a lot of greed amongst them. So you'll never find them working with a high moral code. Why? Because they are criminals. It's normal for a person in that arena to have a very, very low moral code. Don't believe that I'm judging people. That's just the way that world operates, and you see it in stories like the gummy bears, in cartoon characters. I know this is an old story, but I particularly was led to go into that. Why? Because probably there's a lesson that I was supposed to learn, and it is helpful for you who are supposed to be getting some responsible leadership ideas from me. So I'm using a podcast to reach you. I use blogging to reach you. I use ebooks to reach you. I use my books to reach you. There are digital copies. I also use those to reach you, which you can pay for. I use workbooks, seminars, and cell phones, WhatsApp, different and also social media to reach you. This is how I use communications to reach you and to teach you what you're supposed to be learning. You've availed yourself to come and listen to me so that you can get something out of this relationship, this connection that you have with me. So I'm hoping that you receive something of great value that is going to shape your thinking. Now, when I was watching this thing, after I came out of it, and I was pondering, and have been pondering on trolling a lot lately also, because especially in my business, we all experience this, and we experience people who behave like trolls. They'll come with the intention to sabotage, the intention to destroy. For example, if somebody comes and you are veering after a sale, and that person will work their energy off in order to make sure that you do not get that thing. Now, for example, the trolls were looking for treasure so that they can take it from any unsuspecting sojourners, and they were ducking in the bushes. They were hidden in the bushes when they were watching these traps, that they set. Once the person gets caught in the trap, they come and they try to take the treasure from that person, and to see what is it that they can walk away with. So I believe even in our natural world, normal world, we have trolls that are walking around, people who behave like trolls. Yes, there is a particular part where they're doing it just for fun, but they get a kick out of it. But in the natural world, we have people who are behaving like that. And have you found somebody that has done a particular trolling to you? I remember the ones, I don't know which rap artist it was, but they even complained about being trolled at their concerts. Somebody bought all the tickets. I think it was a foolish move, but they bought the show out just to make sure that the person doesn't get to sing in front of the crowd, so that the crowd does not come there and have that experience of getting a live event. It's not about the money sometimes, it's about the experience that the people were supposed to get from getting a live event from their favorite artist. But they never get to get that because there was a particular person, they suspected that there was a particular person that bought out all the tickets so that the event did not take place. So they felt that they were being trolled by that person, and it's ridiculous. Yes, the person made money, but their the person's fans did not get that experience. It's different listening to somebody on a CD, but the fans did not get that experience, and it did not increase the perception that the fans had of that person. When somebody gets a good experience in your business, you understand that will shape how the person views you, and when they walk away from your business, they are going to continue talking about you. They're going to go and tell other people about you. So the next time you present that particular service or make that service available, if you don't have it available all the time, you are going to get more people coming back to have that experience again. So with trolling in your business, with trolling in your workplace, with trolling whatever, wherever, but we're going to use business as an example because we want to touch business owners this week. We want to reach business owners to make sure that they experience what they are supposed to be experiencing after they've worked hard. For me in particular, I don't want to have any trolls in my following. I don't want to have trolls in my email list. I even, I wrote in my email list. It might sound a little bit cocky or arrogant, but I am being honest that I rather work with people who are willing to do the things that I am trying to achieve. I'm going out there. I've made it my life's mission to educate you as my followers, as my audience, as my clients, so that you can be equipped with the right knowledge, skills, and attitudes to succeed in a competitive working environment and in life. And the future I'm working towards, the world that I want to build, is a world where I live with people who are positively influencing the success of their nation positively. So they are working towards creating a better world. I am in South Africa. My nation is important to me and the nations of the world. Why? Because the whole world is important. I'm doing it as a command from the calling that I received from the Lord. Yes, I know I'm not going to reach the whole world at the same time, but I work with one person at a time, and that person that is in front of me will receive the right tools, the right knowledge, the right skills, so that they can go out there and become this responsible leader that is going to influence change in their nation, positive change. You get people doing stuff. I remember I spoke about criminals wanting to experience success, but they have to have certain things in place in order to experience that success. So they need cops to not do their work properly. They need judges to not do their work properly. They need lawyers not to do their work properly. They need security guards not to do their work properly. All of these different places must not operate effectively in order for the criminals to get their work done. They also need other people to not be alert or to do their work properly in order for them to be successful in their criminal behavior. For example, if somebody is coming to do a fraud or hijack or they're going to go and rob a bank. They need all of the people in that place not to cause a hindrance to them. They have to be successful so that they can achieve the goals that they have set for their particular project. And each and every time they go out, they need things to work smoothly for them so that they can achieve their good results. But that's not positive change for us. It's not good success. They are experiencing success on an individual level, but they are causing a negative influence in our nation. So crime goes up. I know, one of the things I have been thinking was that uh, some cops, not all, I don't think there's all I don't think all the cops are dirty cops, even though my perception of cops is really tarnished because of certain experiences I've had when I went to them for help, but I did not get the full help that I needed. It hasn't turned out very good on more than one occasion. I didn't get the help that I needed. I'm talking about this past couple of years that I have decided to change my life and walk the straight and narrow path. I'm not a perfect person, but I decided to turn to the law. Why? Because the law is there to assist us in getting things done. Now, I am saying this here because I had been thinking a lot about how certain cops need crime to be on the increase. Why? Because they are benefiting. It's a business opportunity for them. So they are benefiting from all of this criminal behavior. So I want you to get an understanding today. Now, why did I particularly go in this direction? When I first went out, I didn't understand. This happens to me a lot. I just follow my guts. I follow the leading of my spirit sometimes, and it takes me to a place where I end up realizing there is a message here. And today's message is for people who are out there, especially if you're on my list. I don't want you, yeah? I don't need you, yeah? Why? Because you are actually a hindrance to the work that I am doing. I rather work with people that are interested in fixing change. Me, I'm at a place in my life right now. I'm saying that I want to be around people who are interested in producing good results. I spend too much time of my life, where I was not aware, that or I didn't believe, I was not conscious that my actions are actually causing damage to the world around me. It may have been a small group of people that were experiencing that damage, but I don't know when they are going out how much damage they were causing as a result of me doing stuff to them or around them. I believe we are not islands. We affect people when we do stuff, and when we live our lives to make this world a better place. I believe we are gonna have the success that we desire. I don't want hypocrisy. I'm not gonna try and live in that fake it until you make it world. It has destroyed us. It has destroyed us. It has caused us to experience such negative impact in our environment. So if you are like the trolls, now we have our definition of trolling, but I believe trolls are different in nature. Some guys do it just for the fun of it. and they're not affecting such a great harm to the lives of people out there. They might be just causing a little bit of psychological damage to certain people as they are enjoying what they're doing, but there are others who are out there to destroy, and that's still trolling. I believe, you're going out, you're damaging property, you're going out, you're stealing, you're killing, you're going out, you're disrupting the lives of people. That is still trolling to me. I believe it's taking on a new definition for me. Why? Because you are not coming out to affect positive change in the world. There's no positive change. You are causing hindrances. You are causing problems for our society. And we need to change. Every single day we have to work on ourselves. I'm speaking as somebody that is growing into a man that wants to do the right thing, And at times it becomes difficult. I can tell you a lot of places where things have been systematically done to cause me to actually not respond right, And I've tried my best. And at times I lost my cool, I lost my cool. I'm going to be honest, even the one day I was going to find out this guy, I believe he was trolling me, this is a troll that was sent to me to come and just cause problems in my life. It was a test, actually, I believe, as well, because of my past experiences where I've responded in a violent way. I've shared it in my books, and the past 11 years since I'm serving the Lord Jesus Christ, I believe I've behaved myself. I can give myself a pat on the back. I'm a better person than I was many years ago. I'm able to handle the stresses that the people bring to me. But hey, I've been through a period. Even when I was in Cape Town, I shared it in my book. What good can come from this? Or was it, I'm not trying to be first? Yeah, it was, I'm not trying to be first. There was these two guys, they worried me for a whole month, when I was at that homeless shelter. They worried me for a whole month. And I'm talking about patronizing me until I lost my cool. And that's when I realized, hey, it's either I have to move from this environment, or that person needed to be removed. So we almost ended up in a first fight. The guys had to stop me because I was fighting now. I couldn't handle myself. But thank God I never end up doing anything wrong. Yes, I was supposed to try and find a way to resist fighting. So recently, I told you that I've been trying to get my money back from this guy that came to do architect, and this is an architect. He promoted himself as a guy that complies, So I thought, hey, let me just give this young man a chance. Now, when he gives me the drawing, I realized he gave me something that I never asked for. I told him, hey, change the roof. I don't want a normal roof, and I gave him like an idea of what kind of roof I wanted prior to that. And when he gave me, I said, hey, when he showed me on the computer, I told him, hey, my bro, please change the roof. I don't want a roof. So he looked at me and I said to him, hey, do you want more money or what? That's when he nodded his head. I thought, okay, this is not the deal that we had with each other. This is not how we working with each other. So I've been asking him for my stuff. I had to chase after him one way for my stuff. I had already paid him, and he said to me, as soon as I finish paying him, he'll have the thing done for me. So I realized he even put the wrong address on the thing. I found out that when you do a drawing, you have to take it to the municipality as well to get passed. And I said to him, okay, I sent him a message. For me, I didn't want to talk to him while I was angry. Why? Because that has been one of my major weaknesses. That has been a very, very major weakness for me. So I took some time, just to get the thoughts out of my mind, to uh, relax myself, and then I approached him. In fact, I first spoke to his parents. I kept going to his house. I couldn't get hold of him. I couldn't get him on his phone. I went to his parents and I asked them to assist me now because I'm not able to get hold of him. So I went to the courts. I went to small claims court because he told me after I sent him the email that I'm getting nothing from him. He doesn't have money, but I see him driving his car every day. I know he's going on outings. I know that he's done this work probably for other people. So I took it as he's doing something wrong to me. So I end up going to the court to go and get my small claims court. And it's not a lot of money. It's the principle behind it. It's like 3,800 Rand that I only paid for the thing. But I'd rather take my money back and use it somewhere else if that's the case. Uh, so I went there and they told me, okay, I need to come back with the letter. I went to the police station. I waited a couple of hours for the police even to sort me out. And I suspected, okay, maybe you can get told that I'm already at the bottom. When we got to his house, I asked his younger brother to phone him because we found that he's not dead. I went to the police there. We found that he's not there at home. So I asked his brother, hey, young man, go and phone your brother at least to let him know that I'm here so that I can present him with this thing. So the police presented it to his mother and his mother signed for it. So I don't know if that's going to help or not. I'm still waiting. I got the stuff. I just need to go and submit it to the small claims court to pay the 550 Rand. And they said that money is going to be added on to the amount that he already I'm asking for him to pay me. So he told me point blank when I saw him here outside. My house is a car wash outside here. I got upset. So we end up in an argument and I told him, hey, you know what? We'd rather sort this thing out in court because I can feel I'm getting upset. I even use vulgar. That's how angry I was. I'm going to be honest. I can feel that we're going to end up fighting and I'm going to end up in prison as a result of my anger. So I walked away. He kept coming in and he told me I'm not going to get the money. So I decided, okay, since you've told me, you've responded, and you told me that your mother gave it to you, I'm not going to get the money. Let me go and get it stamped, and I'm going to go and submit it. I think the 14 days is up. I don't know if I'm applying this thing right, but I think the 14 days is up or so. So I have to go and submit this claim to the small claims court. Now, this is how far it's gone. And I know I've experienced more than one of these trolling experiences. And I decided now is the time for me to separate the chaff from the wheat. That doesn't mean it's not going to go away. But I am setting a standard today to say I need to get rid of the stuff from my life because it's going to be causing a lot of problems. We're not going to have a world without it. I've even said I'm going to be sifting other things out of my life that represents trolls. This is my message to you today, that you can do the same. Let us join together to become people who want to change the world. Why focus your energy on people who are destroying our world? Why are we going to be focusing on these people? Yes, they must be stopped. Yes, they must be held accountable when they do stuff. We need to know about these people. When you realize that this person here is actually going around destroying the lives of people, we need to know so that we don't put ourselves in that position. That's why I do stuff like this. A lot of people don't like it when I start to talk about my experiences, and I realize, no, hey, if I keep quiet, a lot of other people are going to be suffering. We're going to be leaving somebody running around doing stuff like this. But what is me? My conscience actually tells me, hey, you know what? You have to do something about it. Don't just let it go, because this individual can be running around about doing their own thing. I remember there's a particular guy I had a kind of fall out with, and then I found out that he did it to one of the other people that we know. He actually stopped the guy from getting employment. One of the managers who knew him in the call center industry phoned him and asked him, must I hire this person? And he said, no, don't hire this person. And I couldn't understand, why would you want to just block somebody else's blessing when that guy has a wife and he has a family to feed? Why would you block somebody else's blessing? No, and then it actually made me more upset. And I said, God, I have to do something, because I'm only hearing about this guy. How many other people are suffering at the hands of people like him? Remember, we are called for specific things. I know you have a purpose for your life, and how you're going to roll that out is going to be different to how I do it, because we are designed differently, and we are people who are created differently. Basically, you have your aspirations, you know which things just make you not happy, and I've been finding myself lately that I have been agitated about this particular thing called trolling. Now it's a broad subject for me. I think there is those on social media, there is those in the natural world who go around doing stuff in order just to get a kick out of it. Some, it's not as bad as what others do, but at the end, we all need to identify these things in our lives and in our environment and say, certain people don't need to be here, and other people do need to be here. I've been through a lot lately, and I'm sure you've been through a lot of experiences as well. I was even remembering, one particular funeral I was at a person that I had known, and there was a young lady there. She's married now. I haven't seen her for, prior to that, so it was probably 2 or 3 years. I had met up with her at one of the churches, and we knew each other when we were younger, during our school days, even after high school, and she was always comfortable around me, even prior to that, the 2 years before that, when I met her. She was so excited to see me in the church because she knew what naughty person I was. It's like, this thing is not for you. But she was happy to see me in the church that she was attending. They were having some conference there at their church, and I was also happy to see that, hey, this young lady is also serving the Lord. She's married and she's doing well for her life. But one thing disturbed me, and I realized, I'm coming out of this particular service. I'm going and look for the toilet. I want to use the toilet. I want to urinate, pee, we call it in South Africa. And I'm walking and I'm running, and I can see her running away from me like she's afraid of me. And I stopped, I laughed, and I said, hey, what's going on? I'm going to look for the toilet. Why are you running away? And she looked distressed, and she almost got relieved. And I realized I was going through a period where people thought I was a stalker. I don't know who was promoting that stuff all around. And she was looking distressed at me. And I thought, God, what is going on? Things like that can actually end up putting you in prison. It can actually end up getting you into trouble with people that you don't know, because there's particular individuals that can promote something like that, which can also end up making mob justice come to your life, uh, because they have promoted a particular thing about you, and people end up hating you for nothing. That's another form of trolling, I believe. That's all right. That's sabotage, but I just believe that's troll behavior. That's just to take away the treasure. If you look at the gummy bears, that's the message I'm getting from today. I know maybe you don't have that definition of trolling that I am talking about. We all see the world differently, and I hope my view is not too extreme for you. Why? Because there's a message in it, I believe. I was looking at the treasure that these trolls were taking from from the people that they had trapped. And when they took their treasure, it was their success, even though it was causing distress in the lives of those people. What treasure do you have? There are things that we treasure, not only money. I just use customers as an example, just in case you are a business owner or you are into business that you are experience this kind of behavior. There is a cause. My cause is to help people become responsible leaders. And for me, what is responsible leadership? People who understand that, firstly, they are responsible for their own lives. And when they are given leadership over other people, those people are their responsibility. That group is their responsibility. Whatever vision uh, has is in front of that group, or whatever they need to accomplish, that leader will be held accountable for the failures, if there's failures, and that leader will celebrate the successes if there's success. And then we also are responsible as a collective, and our collective leadership also needs to be developed. There's not enough time to explain all of these concepts, but I'm just going to give you the gist of it. And I believe there is a cause right now. We've been through some struggles here in South Africa. We have a lot of struggles that we are going through, and we have to put our arms together and say, South Africa needs to change. I've experienced a lot of things. I I sometimes wake up and I remind myself. I even talk to people. I tell them I'm supposed to be a millionaire already, but I'm still working to that. I see myself as already attained a lot of money, multi-millionaire. Why? I've seen my stuff being taken away from me, and by people who are wealthy. Some of them, billionaires. I thought, wow, if you are stealing from me, uh, I'm like a poor man in front of you because of the amount of money that you have. And I'm not doing it only to amass wealth, I'm doing it also to help individuals. But at the end of the day, each of us must be compensated for our gifts. I've heard a lot of stories. I know I've been on the subject for a while, and until I sense I need to move away from it, I'm going to move away from it. But we are trying to build a better future. This is what we are trying to build, a better future for our people. And if we cannot learn from the past, we cannot build a better future. So even our present, we need to analyze it and look at it and say, okay, these things need to be removed. I recently posted something about something that happened to me with my first clients, and I'm going to constantly do things like that from time to time if I come across things like hindrances like that. Why? Because those things don't deserve to be in our environment at all, at all. I believe that. I firmly believe it. Why? Because we all want a better world. We all want a better South Africa. We all want to live in a society where we feel safe, we feel free. And when we're going out to present our ideas in places, we want to feel like we are going to be compensated for those ideas when we do that. We must change. I must change, you must change, so that we can live in a better world. And that's why we send people to prison, so that they can be reformed. They can't live with us. Why? Because they're causing problems for us. So they go and get put in a confined place where they must get watched 24/7, and then they get given things to do during the day. I've never been to prison and I don't want to go there, but I believe some people that come out of the prison system, I've met them, they come out and do the right thing afterwards. They learn stuff, they educate themselves, and they come out and be productive citizens, and they don't go back to their criminal behavior. And I thank God for people like that. Why? Because it shows us that certain ways of reforming people do work. So I believe here in our nation, we have to find a way to join arms together. So that we can change South Africa. And now, if you're not from South Africa and you're from other parts of the world, we can change the world as well. Why? Because we are global citizens now. The internet has changed how we live our lives. I'm here in South Africa, in Durban, and you might be on the other side of the world listening to me. And if you take the stuff that I'm saying, adapt it to your environment, and look at your environment with the same perspective, same mindset, and then you do what you can do with the people in front of you. You are in front of me now because I have set up a system to be able to reach you on the other side. You are in front of me right now. So I've found a way to actually talk to you on the other side of the world, so that you can also transform your nation. And then there is a ripple effect. I don't know you. I always think about this. Nelson Mandela, he is somebody that's famous all over the world. But there was a particular time when no one knew him. When he was growing up, and every person that came to impact his life, both positively and negatively, those people did not know that he was going to be a world leader, a man that had influence all over the world. So I don't know who you are, but I can help you to identify who you are. I can help you to identify why you are here on this earth. And I can also help you to identify what you can do, what you are capable of doing. That's why I do this here, because I struggle in those three areas as well. I spoke to you about the future, I spoke to you about the now, the how I'm doing it. Now I'm telling you why I do all of this stuff. Why do I get up and fight through all of the challenges that I fought through these past 7 years since I've opened up my business? Since I've decided to go in this direction, why do I do that? It's because of the struggles that I had, and I came to a point in my life where I decided my life is going to be significant. I'm going to make a significant change in the world, and I'm not going to tolerate any naysayers. And I'm at that point right now where I'm saying I have to separate the chaff from the wheat. Now, you who do for me will understand what I am doing. I'm talking about, I have to sift out things. And I'm doing that even today with my mailing list. It's not about building a lot. Now, my plan is to reach a lot of people. But if I'm just going to work with a group of people that are willing to listen to what I am saying and are willing to go out and implement what I am talking about, and go out and just change the world, then I'm happy. Why? Because those people are going to tell other people about what they've experienced in their own lives. So we are moving into a better world. I don't know when I'm going to get to leave this earth and go and be with my Heavenly Father. It's a better place. But while I am still here, I must do what I'm created to do. I'm here for a purpose, and once I fulfilled my purpose, I'm going to leave. And I want to leave having done something significant with my life. And my encouragement to you today, I've been straight with you. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat things anymore. Maybe I have done it at times, try to be diplomatic. But I'm going to call it out as it is, that we need to find a way, even when we are having competition with one another. I don't mind having competition, but I'm not competing against any other person. I learn from other people. When I see you doing something better than me, I try and find out, okay, what can I take from this person's life and add it to mine, and so that I can be the best version of me. Every day, I strive to be my best. I just push for my best, and I become a better person every single day. Why? Because I am unique. You are unique. You are unique. You are different to other people. And I've been pondering on this one thing, and I'm almost at the end of what I want to say. We are speaking about trolling. And even those people that are doing that trolling, and the trolling that I'm speaking about today, my definition of it, how I've defined it now in this talk, in this straight talk. And I know I've moved away from other things, that I've moved away to other things, but I'm hoping that you get the gist of the message. Even those people that are trolling are not operating out of purpose. Why? Because they also feel pain when something is taken away from them. They feel the pain. Try to steal from a criminal. Go and try to steal a criminal's car, or go and try to take something from a criminal's house, or defraud a criminal, or go and try to kill a murderer's family member, a person that believes in killing people. Now, I'm not condemning people that have killed. Don't get me wrong. I know from my own life, I'm not guilty of killing any person. I've never taken a weapon and done something to somebody to the point where I know I've taken that person's life. I would have been in jail today if I had done that. But I still have empathy for you. Why? Because I've been at the point where I felt like that. And God has helped me not to do things like that, because we are human beings. At the end of the day, we struggle with a lot of things. But we must not allow certain things to just take over our environments. I really appreciate the fact that people actually risk their lives to work towards a future for me. Yeah, there were people that lived on this earth that actually risk their lives so that I can have this life that I am living right now, this freedom that I'm experiencing. And it's both in my faith and also outside of my faith. I appreciate those people still, even though I wish that they were serving the Lord Jesus Christ had they before they had gone from this earth. I appreciated why? Because they gave their lives, and you cannot put monetary value on a person's life. The value on a person's life is infinite. We cannot measure it honestly, because one person can do something here on this earth and it can transform generations. It can bless generations. It can bless billions of people today and then billions of people in the generations to come. And for as long as this earth remains, God willing, that person's one action can be a blessing to the lives of many other people afterwards. I wrote a blog post about the value of youth, and I put an infinite picture there on a banner on my blog post. You can go on my blog post and I said, see the value of youth. We don't really understand how valuable people are. Why? Because we don't value ourselves as well. We don't know the value of our own lives. And I'm talking as somebody who at one stage took steps to commit suicide. And this was before I became a Christian. It was around 2008. Before I decided to give my life to the Lord Jesus Christ completely, I said, hey, I'm tired. And when I tried to kill myself, I heard a voice speaking to me and say, where are you going to spend your eternity? And because I grew up in a home that believed in Jesus Christ, I was just be in rebellion. I decided, no, I no longer want to do that. I don't want to die. And I already swallowed the tablets. I already drank the stuff that I drank. I'm not going to tell you what I drank, what it was. Okay, I'm going to talk. I drank pedophilia at that time. So I wouldn't advise you to try and do that. Why? Because your life is valuable. Your life is valuable. Others might not see it, but you have to train yourself to see it. And there are examples all around. And you have to train yourself to understand who you are, to see who you are. I'm going a little bit overboard now from that 1 hour. But I believe it's important, that's why I have been fighting so much with the people that have been trying to hinder my efforts. I believe because they understand the more people that are free, the less control they'll have over others. And I sense that this is the stuff that I'm doing is going to bring us into a newfound liberty, a newfound freedom, a newfound independence. We cannot have successful interdependence where we are working together as a collective if we are not independent completely. We won't be able to do that. So we all have to come to a point where we are independent, and that's just personal leadership. And then we have to move on to being able to lead others. where we are not becoming bad influences on other people because we have difficulties handling things within ourselves, leading our own lives. We cannot deal with certain things, weaknesses in our own character, and then we go out and pull others into the same behavior. Now that's why I put this here together today, about the trolls lying in the bushes, hiding in the bushes. You can't even see them. Some of them, they're in the background doing their stuff, and then only when you are trapped, they show themselves and they take your stuff. So you mustn't get trapped. You must be alert, and let us protect one another. Why? Because we are working towards a new future for our nation. We are working towards something different for our nation. I don't know how many threats I've received. I don't know. I spoke to you about when I went to Cape Town, when I went to Johannesburg, and I know I'm still gonna travel the world, God willing. This is one way I'm reaching outside of my nation, but I want to physically set foot in many more nations. I've been to 6 other countries already. I want to go to more, and there's not something to boast about. I just love to explore. I like to meet new people, and I love to learn new things. But today I just want to leave you with something that you can work with. Just try to identify what is happening in your environment. Let us just be conscious about what's happening around us. And let us be people who are going to say, this is my responsibility. And take up something that is going to take up time, keep you busy for the rest of your life. So that you don't get distracted by all that is happening around. You don't have to pick 101 things. We can't solve all the problems. Just try to find out one thing that you can do that is going to change the world for the better. And not only thinking about your own life for as long as you are here, that when you leave this earth, that space is going to be protected for generations to come. That space is going to be protected for generations to come. That whatever it is that you're building with your life must have longevity, that people can just come in and find safety in that thing that you have built. Think of it as you're building a huge mansion. And once you're completed building that mansion, how many people are going to be able to come in and out? And how many generations are going to be able to enjoy what you have done? This is Basil Green speaking, and I would love for you to join us again on Sunday. I'm not going to be doing the youth up this Friday. Give me some time just to put something together so that we can start to awaken the young people on a Friday. So if you got young people in your life, especially those that are younger, that like to go everywhere, just keep them busy. Give them something to do. Let them come and listen to me. I'll try my best to be engaging. I'm not going to be that old man, just only going to be talking serious stuff. I do make jokes, I say on my YouTube channel, I got there virtual comedy show. I haven't posted anything on there in a long time, but if you want to just listen to cracks, I try and crack jokes. I'm not a professional comedian. I call myself the unprofessional comedian. You can laugh at me for making dry jokes. So just rip me out, and life is meant to be enjoyed. Remember that. But we must all enjoy life. That's what I want. We must all be happy. And when we find that thing that's gonna cause us to be happy people, we won't find ourselves doing stuff that is gonna destroy and become like the trolls in the gummy bears. And I believe that's has been used for us, to learn something today. And remember, I'm not endorsing the magic that was going on in the gummy bears. I don't want y'all Christians. I'm a Christian myself. Let's not take that behavior. Let us just hold on to the good that I'm talking about. They drink the gummy berry juice. It's a magic potion that they drink to make them jump. For a while, but it doesn't last long. I'm talking about things that we're gonna do that's gonna help us to keep us lost. That's like a shortcut for them. And I believe there are no shortcuts to the success that we want. We all have to put in the work. Let me leave you now because I can talk for long and I enjoy doing what I am doing. So if you're a Christian and you can pray for me. And that I experience favor and I grow in wisdom and in stature, so that I can be a blessing to the world, not a curse. So if you want to measure the two, the trolls are like a curse and the gummy bears are like a blessing. Now remove the trolls and the gummy bears and put yourself in those two categories. Are you a curse or a blessing to this world? Goodbye.